are, who we were, what did we do in the world. This is what we talk about.
The Bible Land Museum came in the right time because it came in a time when suddenly we understood that we are part of the Middle East.
There is nothing like this in the state of Israel.
You don't see it anywhere else.
There's no one place in the world that incorporates all of these topics into one institution.
As far as I'm concerned, this is unique.
המסר מחלחל, המסר קורא לך מהקירות. אין פה הטפה, אין פה מיסיונריות.
And we're the only museum in the world that takes a collection of this caliber, of the physical evidence, the historicity of the Bible, and tells a story with it.
Yes, this story could have begun thousands of years ago when these artifacts were first created.
My husband was a very practical man.
But it is possible to begin it a little later on with the meeting between two dynamic people who were born to move mountains.
These two crazy people had an incredible idea, and they turned the world upside down to make it happen.
Batya and Dr. Eli Borovsky bonded instantaneously.
And he started saying that this was the most important collection for the history of the Jewish people. And my mother looked at him and said, then what are you going to do with it? And he said, what do you mean, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to build a museum. I'm going to build a museum in Toronto, and I'm going to build it. She looked at him and she said, if it's what you say it is, it belongs in Jerusalem and no place else.
On their route to Jerusalem, Batya gave up a lot for the dream which she and Eli nurtured together.
This piece is a very special piece to me.
She even sacrificed this exquisite Greek vase that Eli had given her as a personal gift.
I said to Eli, but you can't sell this piece, it belongs to me.
The beautiful vase was sold to Japan, and 10 years later, there was an opportunity to buy it back.
I bought it with a whole bunch of other pieces, and it came back home with us.
This vase that she brought back to Jerusalem, she says, gave her the strength, a lot of strength, to also cope with the Israeli bureaucracy.
Everything from working with the Lands Authority and the bureaucracy and having Teddy Kollek get involved.
It was never easy, but that's all right. It just makes you work harder.
I saw the spirit, the enthusiasm, the way they looked at it, both of them. I was attached to the idea.
This is a piece from the time of Sennacherib.
Eli and Batya brought their entire priceless collection to Jerusalem.
It is a most important piece of history.
Eli's tremendous scholarship and their shared passion inspired them to expand the collection with ancient treasures that prove the existence of the glorious, rich cultures, the cultures of the Bible lands.
It's the only example of Sumerian necklace that exists in Israel.
We never knew that Batya Borovsky will be such an energetic lady.
She's a dynamic, strong-willed, determined individual.
היא שילוב מנצח של חוכמה, של ניסיון חיים, של דבקות במטרה ושל חריצות בלתי נלאית.
She induced him really to bring the collection to Israel.
Eli was a visionary, Eli was a dreamer, and she was the pragmatist. She made it all come together. And this museum was built because she made it happen.
But the greatest pride 18 years after founding the museum is the thousands of children who discover our rich cultural heritage on tours through the museum.
These children are the most important visitors in the museum.
Arab and Jewish children experience actual coexistence in the Bible Lands Museum.
Batya was actually a pioneer in it. She was one of the first to have done it.
Last Passover, we filmed her activities, which took place throughout the entire holiday. Needless to say, there was full occupancy.
As my husband's dream was to bring history to the children of Israel.
Batya assumed leadership as the director of the museum from the beginning, forging new directions and developing leading exhibitions.
Batya was found out to be a very energetic museum director, and she really does it so beautifully that every time when you come here, you see new improvements, you see new activities.
Since Eli passed away, she has continued to protect and guide its future. From the very beginning, the whole family was drafted.
We really grew up in this place. This was our heritage. It's our life. I mean, this was the world we lived in. It would be, hold on, help me pull this out. Working here officially and unofficially from the age of maybe 14. Speak for yourself. I think I started more like 9 or 10. It's a unique way to grow up.
What I wanted to show them was the introductory gallery.
Her daughter Amanda came for a year, which turned into almost 20 years of working together with her mother.
We have a private method of communication. It's either a look, a hunch, a glimpse, something.
Today, she is director of the museum. Her sister Jessica followed a few years later and is now an acclaimed exhibition designer.
Whenever you come, you see the family. Everybody who is here is personally involved.
The ladder salmon seal is over here. Other people need an entire conversation. We don't need that. We understand each other and we work beautifully together.
This unique teamwork, combined with the efforts of leading experts in the field, has enabled hundreds of thousands of visitors from around the world to walk the paths of history.
This is our Sumerian temple gallery.
The exhibits, the maps, and the illustrations enable visitors to follow the development of ancient societies,
Weights and measures in the ancient world.
to trace the footsteps of our forefathers,
Beautiful golden lapis lazuli. This one over here, it's an eyeliner.
to understand the religious rituals which they valued,
In order to be in the temple all the time, they figured out a very good way to do it, and they made likenesses of themselves, statues,
to enjoy the art and archaeology that remains for us to see today.
and even ancient cylinder seals.
In addition, the museum's curators and staff create exciting special exhibitions. We filmed the intricate preparations for the Angels and Demons exhibition, which delves into the powerful world of magical practice in Judaism.
We were not born in the shtetl, and we didn't exist after the Holocaust. We have a history that we have to be proud of for over 2,000 years.
The name Bible Lands Museum says it all. I mean, we are here with the Bible.
Batya Borovsky may be turning 80 years old, but you wouldn't know it. She continues each day with vigorous energy to fulfill the vision of her beloved.
It is my love story, yes. It is also my love story with my museum and the collection and what we have built here in Jerusalem.
Good evening and Mazal Tov. We celebrate this year a landmark in the history of the Bible Lands Museum. For 18 years, Chai, the museum has brought the past back to life. It's become a vital part of Israel's cultural landscape. Now, I can think of few things that are more important than reminding people, both inside and outside Israel, of the Jewish people's connection to this land. If you want to understand the extent and depth of this connection, read the Bible. If you want to understand the Bible even more, come to the Bible Lands Museum. Let me also on this occasion wish a hearty Mazal Tov to Batya Borovsky, who is celebrating her 80th birthday tonight. Batya has been the heart and soul of the Bible Lands Museum. Without her, and without her late husband Eli, who along with his remarkable collection was also an internationally renowned scholar, the museum would have never been created. This is why the entire state of Israel owes you, Batya, a deep gratitude. And that is why we're so grateful for your continued commitment to this indispensable museum. It's rightfully taken its place among Israel's leading cultural and educational institutions.